What you just saw in the intro was a project called Dungeons & Friends, a Nichijou Fanzine. This project holds a special place in my heart, and many others feel the same way. It shows that no matter how high your goals seem, you can reach the top and achieve them. Now, if you don't know what a zine or fanzine is, that's okay. I didn't either until I figured out about this project. A zine is kind of like a very small, usually independently published magazine about art, food, politics, cooking, how your day went, pretty much anything your heart desires. Now, a fanzine is a zine made by fans of something they enjoy. They're usually created for the pleasure of people who share the same interest in the topic of the fanzine. Now, as I mentioned before, I had no idea what fanzines were before I came across this project. So if my explanation for zines was a bit rough around the edges, please forgive me. Anyways, this fanzine is centered around the works of Keiichi Arawii's charming world of Nichijou, City, and Helvetica Standard. The name of the fanzine is called Dungeons & Friends. It features a lot of themes such as medievalism, ancient world, fairy tales, steampunk, etc. You could think of it as an alternate universe for all of Keiichi Arawii's work, only it's unofficial and it's made by fans. But how did the project get to where it's at right now? Tons of talented artists participated. The fanzine was finished and raised money for the Animators Dormitory Project, a charity aimed at helping Japanese animators get better salaries and a shelter to sleep in. To answer that question, I got the hosts of the project, Spooderflakes and Jenny Puff, in a Discord call.
So, my name's Jen. I go by Jenny Puff online. My main role in the project was putting the book together in InDesign, putting everything together to send for manufacturing, so the stickers and the cards, and then fulfillment and shipping, which means everything comes to me and then I fulfill all the orders.
I am Carlos, and I'm also a Spooderflakes. I was the one in charge of basically talking to all of the artists. I was a supervisor in every artwork. I was the one running all of the social media. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, I was pretty much the one going go, 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 and also just seeing how everyone was doing.
So when and how did this whole project start?
In 2020, I started doing art collabs with users. The first one was the Wolfsmith collab that we did for April Fools. That's where I pretty much started to engage with artists. And from there, I did like an LGBT one, I did a winter one, then I did another April Fool's one. And from there, like I started to realize, like, hey, you know what? People like me because people like me. They like to work with me. So I think I can do something, right? And it was right around January. We were still doing the April Fools of that year, but at the same time, I was doing a website. I wanted to do a platform for Nichijou fans to mostly like highlight fan art and all of that stuff. And we were doing pretty well. It was going to be called Nichijou TV, but because of how ISPs work in America, we weren't able to keep going because they were going to start like scrutinizing like everything we did, and I think they were going to shut down anything we were ever going to try to do. So any like art galleries or any proms or anything, yeah, we had to shut it down. So it was something that we wanted to do, but it never happened. So I was like kind of sad about it. And around the end of January of 2021, Jen sent me a message on DMs, and she was like, "Hey, wouldn't it be funny if we did like a magazine, like a fan magazine based on the Discord server?" And I was like, "Yeah, that would be funny." And that's pretty much how it started. I don't know if Jen wants to say something.
Yeah, I used to be part of some zine projects a long time ago from some other fandoms, and that eventually died out because nobody wanted to work on it anymore and everyone was kind of going different directions. I had come into Nichijou fandom in about 2018, 2019-ish, and then it was kind of like, well, that whole thing was fun, but we don't do it anymore, so maybe it could happen with one of the new fandoms that I'm in. And yeah,
Yeah, pretty much. I started in 2017. For me, it's like a very lucky thing how everything just happened. Because it was 2017. I watched Nichijou. I joined. I was checking the subreddit all of the time because I was like craving content. And then like some guy said, "Hey, I did a Discord server. Let's try this." I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna join that." It was like I was like one of the first people to join, and it started like growing and
wow.
growing and growing, and there was like a community starting to get in and stuff. And all of that time, we were like, "Yeah, it's going to be mostly about the Discord server, and that's it." But then later on, we realized that we had like a lot of untapped potential if we didn't go outside of the Discord server. So it went from just Nichijou and users to just Nichijou and of course like City and all of the others.
It's really surreal to see people get their package and open it. It's similar to like how people buy stuff from my shop and then they open it and they might leave a review or take a photo or post online. And it's really nice seeing that. It's always surreal when it happens. We still have some leftover stuff and I'm still waiting for some people to receive their packages, so we're not 100% done, but we're mostly done. But once we're 100% done, it'll be a big relief to have everything finished and out there.
Of course, like Jen's been doing this for years and she has a shop and all that. But for me, it was like weird to finally like see a lot of people see that my brother got it, my friends from the real life got it, and many
wow.
others. And it was like, hey, that's really cool to just have it. But part of me, if like, of course, I have like a huge relief of, oh my god, it's finally done because for a long time we kept delaying and delaying and delaying because of many things. Either it was the art, either it was personal stuff going with me and Jen. So we had to like delay sometimes and just kept going because I remember that the original plan was to sell the thing on what was it? We were supposed to sell on September, I think, but we ended up selling on to October and many other. It felt really good to just know that I did this and all of these people did this because I was the one that moved everything. But at the same time, it was like I was the one that checked every every piece of art from the first idea to the first draft to the check-ins to the finalized work to maybe edit this, maybe do this and that. So I've seen all these like pieces of artwork so many times. It didn't feel as crazy, but at the same time it felt crazy mostly
Yeah.
because for the tarot cards, I don't know if that's a question later on, but one of the tarot cards there is based on my mother. She was a tarot card reader, so seeing that in person when I got my box, I was in my dad's office. I didn't cry, but I felt like something. I felt like fuzzy, just seeing like it's here. I don't have to think about this anymore. It's just wait for the others to get it, and that's it. So yeah, it was
just
really nice.
having it physically in your hands. It's different than just seeing it. So, what are some of the biggest challenges you had to face during this project?
One of the challenges there is getting everybody on the same page to do the artwork on the right resolution and in the right way.
Oh god.
That's all just technical stuff. That's a big part of it because you make templates to create merchandise for things. You create templates, you give everyone the template, you have everyone stick to the template, but when you have somebody who's not doing the template or not following it, it kind of messes everything up because, well, then their size is not correct, or it's too small, or it's too big. So then you have to adjust that accordingly. So technical things like that is something that's really difficult. It is a couple $1,000s to purchase all of the merchandise and have it all come to one place. And yeah, I'd say those were probably some really big obstacles that we had to face.
Oh, yeah, I feel bad about Jen because she was the one that shipped like everything. I was sitting on my ass doing nothing, just like posting things on Twitter and saying haha something funny, and she was like with like 4 or 5 boxes of stuff on her house or on her
Oh.
office. I was like, oh yeah. Everyone talks like, hey, thank you, Spoiler, for this. Thank you, Spoiler, for that. But it's like, no, 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 no. Please direct all of those comments to her. She's the one that did like a lot of stuff behind the scenes. But yeah, mostly for me, my biggest challenge was mostly get how Twitter works in less of a personal viewpoint and more of promotion. I had to understand that I had to change my approach on how to talk to people. So I started to speak in Spanish first of all, because on Facebook is mostly Latin Americans. On Twitter, I tried to be more jokey. When we were doing like the whole AMAs, we got like the Boys of Hakase, right? And she retweeted our post, and on her QRT, the official Microsoft Store commented on the post. So it was mostly like, hey, let's try and take advantage of this. So we did like funny jokes and memes out of the Microsoft stuff, and we got followers out of that. So it was mostly that, like, get a hang of how social media works.
It was possible that if we didn't get enough sales, we would not have been able to order like 200 of everything, for example. Then we'd have to order maybe 50 of everything. But we had taken into account how much everything costs, because as you order in bulk, it's cheaper. So we had calculations for if we only ordered 50, 75, 100, 200. But I think at worst, it would have just been we ordered 50 of everything instead of the amount that we actually ordered, which was closer to 200.
How happy are you with the finished project?
I think it looks really good. There was a guy who did a video on the unboxing of his bundle, and Spooter had sent that video to me, and I looked at it and I was like, whoa, that's pretty amazing. I felt really good from looking at that and looking at everybody's photo of them opening their box and everything. So I'd say I'm pretty happy with the way everything went. There were a couple of minor issues, like I think somebody's pages were in the wrong order. I think overall we're pretty happy with the way it came out. I think the artists are pretty happy with the way their stuff looks.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it looks amazing. I wish I could have gotten one, but I just wasn't in the position to at the time. So, but it's still cool seeing everything.
So.
Really?
Yeah, we still have leftovers. Yeah, we haven't listed them yet because I'm waiting for everybody to get theirs, and some people are in Indonesia and Malaysia, and theirs is taking a really long time to get there because of overseas.
There goes another Nichijou video that I have to make.
So yeah, once those people get their stuff, I need to work on a couple other contributors things, and then we can finally list all the extra stock.
Yeah, pretty much for me it was the same thing. Like, I'm very happy, but at the same time I feel like I'm always like hard on myself, so I feel like those issues like really bug me, but at the same time I know that I'm gonna be able to do better next time, because I know people are happy. There's there's a mistake in the whole thing that no one has noticed for some reason. Like everyone loved it so much that everyone, I think, didn't care or just didn't notice it at all. So I think that pretty much says how well we did.
One day someone will find it.
Oh, some have, but it's like, who cares? Whatever. Good work, dude. Good work. But yeah, for about the contributors, I'm happy about them. All of them are very happy. Some of them DM'd me around the time we started to sell, as well as fancies started to get to them. Some were like very happy talking to me, saying that, hey, thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. And yeah, I'm very flattered by everyone that helped on it. I think I've already said that I'm already working on the next one. I wouldn't say how much we are close to the thing, but recently I said like, hey, who wants to help me with this? And around 15 artists wanted to help with the new thing. So
the questions I was gonna ask is if there was gonna be another project like this one.
We're pretty much ready. We have the logo, we have the banner, we have the name.
Ooh.
We have like a lot of people already like that want to return. It's just we have to wait.
This sounds interesting. I'm excited for
Yeah.
it. Do you have any favorite memories of working on the project?
There was an artist that was helping us with a tarot card. And he's good. He's like incredible. He did an incredible job at the end. But his first like work in progress check-in was just scribbles. It was like 3 lines and that's it. And I was like, what? What is this? So I literally went to the artist and I asked them, is this a joke? Or what is going on? Because you just sent scribbles. It's like 3 lines. There's like I don't see a character. I don't see anything. What is this? And they were like, yeah, I didn't know what to do. Like, sorry, I'll try for the next one. And then the next month he showed like something beautiful. It was incredible. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna shut up now. I'm never going to complain again. And mostly the AMAs, I think, because I did like what 5 of them. Anthony Bowling, Afi John, Emmy Lowe. Yeah, it was Emmy Lowe, and then it was Caitlin Barr and Jet Saxon, and then it was Monica Ryo again. Yeah, it's mostly the voice actors of Nichijou from the English dub. It was a huge honor to have them on board with me. I never like 2017 me wouldn't ever expect to. First of all, there was going to be an English dub, and second of all, that I will be talking to those people, and that all of them actually like me, and that one of them follows me on Twitter now. So it feels weird, but it's something very nice, and it's something that I will always cherish. I'm gonna go ahead and just say like thank you to everyone. Like I know like some people are going to see this. Like from the start, it will be like everyone that helped me emotionally, because it was really hard for me because it was a lot of stuff at the start of the year last year. There was like projects and stuff with college, and then I got COVID, and then my mother's passing and all that. So all the people that weren't part of the fan scene but were there for me to just help me out, like any any feedback, like everyone from the Discord too. Like all of you are very precious to me. I don't know where I would be without you guys. So it's that. For the artists too, like thank you everyone, because all of you did like an incredible job. Some did like 4 things at the time. It was like stickers, then they did like a die cut sticker, then they did a page, and then they did like a tarot. So a lot of people like did a lot. So I just say that I feel like I'm very lucky to be in like a community that it's very inspiring. Like they are extremely motivated to do like anything at all. They're just waiting for someone to tell them, because they just love the show that much, just as I do, and I'm just very happy.
Yeah, everyone did a really good job. Everyone was, really enthusiastic about the project. Everyone had a really good energy. Probably one of my favorite things was seeing everyone posting their work in progress in the work in progress channel in the zine server. That was really nice, and everyone's, being positive or offering criticism, stuff like that. We actually got our zine out and shipped out before some other zines that I saw in other fandoms that released their zine before ours and closed before ours. So that was pretty amazing to see that we got ours done way before. I was just excited about that because it meant everyone worked really efficiently and worked hard to the very end. So yeah, really happy with everything.
Yeah, you two are really hardworking people, from what I can tell. And this is just so cool. It's so awesome to see a project where everyone comes together and works on something.
Thank you.
So that has to do it for the questions.
Thanks so much for the opportunity to talk to you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See ya.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Just kidding, I actually got a few artists to talk about their experiences too. Before I show you the interview, one really cool artist called Delatoid wanted to talk about their experiences with the project. However, they didn't really want to use their mic, so I'll just read what was typed out. Can you introduce yourself and your roles in this project? I'm Delatoid. I was an artist for the Nichizine. I did the horror-inspired thing. If I remember correctly as well, I also helped Spooderflakes with some stuff, such as the application animation, thank you card, and filling in some empty spots. How do you feel about the finished project? I think it came together very well. There was a good selection of artists and who you could tell was dedicated to the project. What are your favorite memories of working on the project? I honestly really liked the early parts of the zine. It was mostly artists that I was at least acquainted with, and we were sort of figuring things out. And it felt like a fun little project. That's not to say that when other people started to join that it wasn't fun. It was cool to see artists I was unfamiliar with, especially if they decided to put their WIPs up for advice and such. Even though I was more of a lurker in the later stages of the zine, it was still a fun experience that brought various artists from the community together. I'd say it was a successful project, and hopefully it's enough to bring people back for a future zine as well. Plus, I was offered the spot as an art moderator for a potential future zine, so I need to take that up. Thank you, Delatoid, for this interview. I appreciate it. Alright, without further ado, here's the artist interview. Can you introduce yourselves and your roles in this project?
Okay, I'll go first. I'm the terror that flaps in the night. I am the billboard that says crime is evil. And I am also an artist on Nichijou Fanzine / the Nichijou comic. I am Corey Gangster Money. Do you guys top that?
I'm Gen 2. I worked on the Nichijou Zine. I did a page for it and also did a sticker for it. And I also worked on some scenes for Nichijou Reanimated.
I'm Sea Salt Squid. I did some of the cover art. I did a tarot card, and then I also did 2 pages for the zine, and then I did 1 scene for the Reanimated project, but it was a small in-between scene.
What are some challenges that you had to face, if any?
It was more or less technical problems that plagued me, especially in the beginning. I don't think I had Procreate, so I had to make do with what I had.
This zine was the first zine I worked on ever, so it was definitely a first-time experience. But thankfully, I had a bit of connections within the Nichijou community just because I talked there for a bit, and especially in the Reanimated server originally. And I guess for problems wise, it was mainly deadlines. I'm not that great with deadlines at all.
It's kind of the same stuff as Gen 2. Deadlines are something I struggle with. I'll start on a lot of stuff and I'll just kind of drop it halfway through because I don't like how it's turning out. But with a zine, you can't really do that, especially when you've taken your time. And you've got maybe like a month left to finish your project. I think beyond that, I do a lot of just simple portraits, basically. So I had to do backgrounds, I had to do text layouts, kind of border design and all that kind of stuff.
What introduced you to the project? How did you find out about it?
I was in the Nichijou Reanimated, so I just kind of stuck around with that community after I finished my scene for the project. And I just so happened to find out about Spooder and his Nichijou Fanzine project.
I just saw an announcement in the Nichijou server that was just Spooder, I guess publicly announcing the opening for applications in the fanzine. And I think it did take me a bit to apply, but then I just decided I would. I just really wanted to do another thing in the Nichijou community. Just because it's always fun doing projects like these.
I didn't know about the zine at the start until later. Spooder originally invited me to do it because I think the zine was posted on Discords and I think on Reddit too. And I don't use Discord, I don't really use Reddit. And he invited me to help with the cover, I think back when they were still like trying to find people to work on it.
Do you have any favorite, interactions with people or favorite drawings you've seen or anything like that?
Well, I wasn't terribly involved in the Discord. I was kind of the guy that just said, "Hey, I want to submit my scenes. I'm done. I have fun with it. And I kind of move on to whatever I do next."
I guess the most fun part of the design overall was just interacting with the people that were participating in the design. A lot of good artists, a lot of which are very well versed in the community and well known, and especially seeing design start and seeing people pump out these like amazing sketches in the beginning. We're like, oh my god, just seeing the King Kong one, just seeing that sketch, and then like a couple days, I don't know about a couple days, but like soon enough, just it turning into the final product was like really amazing to see.
It was kind of the same for me. I really liked seeing all the other pictures come in and go from like sketches to, more kind of thought out works to finally being finalized. It was a lot of fun. And then seeing, I guess, just kind of how everything else kind of fell into place, especially with like the tarot cards and stuff, with some of the formatting and whatnot. I kind of like that too.
Yeah, I have to say, just a little bit out of respect for the entire community that worked on that project. Very well done and very good artists, and I am very jealous of a lot of their work.
How do you feel about the project being finished and seeing people have physical copies and things like that? How do you feel about that?
Still waiting on my package. That's I still haven't gotten it in the mail. It may have gotten lost. It is March, in the middle of March, so I have no idea what happened to it. But so I haven't actually viewed the fanzine yet in its complete entirety. I'm glad that people like what we do and what we're passionate about.
Yeah, so I didn't get my fanzine either. Well, that's just because mine is coming after everyone that actually bought theirs gets theirs. But yeah, seeing all the pictures and videos of just like the physical design and the just how everything came out with like all the images just like printed on there, it's really like, wow, we did this thing. Like we actually pulled it off.
I don't know. I've gotten my scene. I ended up getting mine a little bit early. I'm not sure what happened, but I guess the stars just aligned. I was really happy to just look through it. And while I really pushed the deadline, I was kind of get under. I got like I think everything done like 2 or 3 days before the deadline. And while I was glad to be done with it, I'd really like to do it again. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you're the only one in this entire group chat that actually has it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Do you have like any final comments, anything you want to say, any stories you want to share, or fun facts, anything?
Well, I think it did push me as an artist to just think about how to incorporate a lot more humor into what I do, and I love humor. I'm not shy about humor, any kind of humor. I love doing this sort of thing, so I've definitely signed up for the project.
To everyone that supported the fanzine, thank you very much. It was a very hard-working effort by everyone that contributed, especially the people that organized it, like Spoder and Jenny. So I just want to say, yeah, thank you, and please stay tuned for future projects, because it was this is all for charity too. So to be able to do more stuff like this and being able to support the animators that get the money from this is great.
Thanks to everyone else, and please do check out the next coming zine. Yeah.
All right,
Bye.
thank you.
One of my favorite things about this project is the trailer for the fanzine created by Snowtenki. This animation came out on October 30th, 2021, but instead of me talking about it, I got the creator of the trailer to tell you all about it instead.
Hi, the name's Snowtenki. You can refer to me by either of those two words. I'm an amateur 2D/pixel artist, 3D animator, and music composer from the Philippines. I first figured about the zine after Spotter announced it on the r/Nichijou server. Actually, to be fair, he was the one who invited me directly in March of last year. I initially wanted to join in the project just so I can improve my art skills as well as my girlfriend's, since she was part of the community as well. And as well as collaborating with other artists that I like. The true root of the whole project was after I did one of the stickers for the zine, the Engineer Nikura one. I fell in love with how I designed my favorite city character there, so on a whim, while I was practicing 3D, I decided to make a low poly of Engineer Nikura, and ended up animating the Jump in the Cack Nikura parody, which is on my YouTube channel. And before that, I posted it solely on the zine server, and once Spotter caught wind of the animation, that's when we started brainstorming the project. The entire thing took about 3 months, according to Spotter, that is. The first thing we did was write the script. It had like 5 revisions, and that's with Spotter mostly giving the direction of the writing. If it weren't for him though, I would have chalked the trailer with too much JoJo references. I then started animating, which started like a few weeks before the deadline. The first thing I had to give attention to was the audio, so me and Spotter spent some time looking for voice actors, since the audio should go in first in order to properly sync the animation. It was Spotter mostly who recruited the others, and I decided it was a good idea to get my friend Noodle in the credits to come along with the project to voice as Nan and Mio, which is one of my favorite parts of the project as well. Also, some of the songs were arranged by me, although I'm having trouble looking for them in my files at the moment, which is why I'm still unable to release them. For animating, I used Blender, as many do thanks to its price of $0 dues. The main points I wanted to achieve in my animating and modeling is to mix that low poly and cel shaded style that Jet Set Radio had with the animation techniques that 3D Guilty Gear games are using. Just look up any gameplay footage of either Guilty Gear Strive or Guilty Gear XR, and you'll get dopamine from that. In turn, it was a mix of nostalgic 2000s Dreamcast style and 2D animation that isn't actually 2D. Low poly modeling sounds generally easy because of the term, of course, which means low polygons. If you pay close attention to the animation and the video, each of the limbs and the torsos are actually separate meshes each. This is in order to avoid any weird deformity from bending meshes, but also because I'm too lazy to actually learn how to fix that. But the true challenge comes into the eye candy in the model, as it relies more on artistic ideas and problem solving and how to connect each effect to get the desirable result. Fortunately, this entire part was skipped because I used no shading on my models at all. Instead, the implied shading is actually on the textures themselves. This was inspired by the art style that Mega Man Legends used, the game on the PS1. So that's a total process. I make an entire video about my workflow as well, but my laptop, which is all I have, already struggles with Blender and review most times, so that'll have to wait. In terms of struggles, first, school is a big oof for me, so at points where I'd be animating decent progress, there's a huge gap in between so that I can focus on school, which I'm terrible at. The lengthiest part to do was modeling the Shinonome living room, part of the Shinonome laboratory, as it was my first time modeling a room or landscape. And it was pretty tricky to get the accuracy right, thanks to the little references. In the end, it was accurate enough to make it accurate enough, save for a missing office chair. And Potter once commissioned a model of the living room before the whole zine project even started, but I accidentally found that the whole model was flipped, so yeah. In the animating process, the main issue I had was getting the voices. A lot of the voice actors are on a different time schedule and time zone as well, so it was impossible to get them to practice together, so we've opted to just get some voice lines. This problem persisted even to the last 3 days, but in the end we got to where we wanted. The real challenge though was the tool I'm using itself. the shoddy laptop I got. An HP Pavilion X360 with mid-range specs and questionable performance. I got it 2 years prior to the project, and I still found it confusing how slow Windows 10 was compared to 8.1 after my switch. It was mid-range because I didn't know how computer specs worked back then. I was a very innocent child. But aside from that, the problem was with the video edit. Crashes happen from time to time in Filmora, which even if I resented it, it's the only video editor that even runs remotely decent on my laptop. It was truly a pain to have gone through editing it, and in the end I had Spotter show a fairly decent video on stream, and I had to upload it later in the day with the fixes I wanted to make afterwards, along with an extra segment with Biscuit announcing how to order the zine. In the end, I was glad that people liked it. After all, I only wanted to make people happy with my work. After doing even more animations recently, I wish I could have done some more improvements. And I look at it with with a slight internal cringe. Not that I hate it, but because of how much improved the models by now.
In the beginning of this video, I said that this whole project proves that no matter how high your goals seem, you can reach the top and achieve them. Everyone you heard from in this video, and many more involved in the project, has done just that. They all worked so hard together and created something truly magical. This community is something really special, and I haven't really seen something like it before. I've left the links and names of everyone involved in this video in the description below, from Spooderflakes and Jenny Puff to the beautiful Nichijou piano arrangements by He Sing a Song. Also, real quick, if you remember earlier in the video, I had a small reminder that Nichijou Reanimated is out, so please give it a watch. I promise it's worth it. It's really cool. If you have any projects you're working on or any ideas in your head, remember to keep going and never give up. I hope this project inspired someone watching this video because it certainly inspired me. Also, I'm really sorry for the wait for this video. Lots of personal stuff gets in the way, and I am by no means a professional content creator. I make videos about stuff I'm interested in, whether that be a Minecraft series where I go to space to take back a magical spoon, or talk about really cool projects like Nichijou Reanimated or Nichizine. So if you like any of that stuff at all, stick around and look forward to it. Bye!